AITA for not telling my sister that the rest of the family is going to Disneyland without her.
For context, there are 5 of us sisters, and we all used to be really close until one of our sisters and they got into a really bad fight with our other sister Sarah. The reason for the fight 2 years ago, and I was in the process of moving to a different state, is she had asked Sarah if she could store a few of her things in her garage just until she was able to sign a lease on her new home. Now Sarah and her ex, James, were in the middle of reconciliation, but it wasn't working out because he was too controlling. He then went behind Sarah's back and sold all of Amanda's stuff. I'm talking 75-inch TV, a 50-inch TV, all of Amanda's designer clothes and expensive high heels, along with all of her collection of VHS that were gifted to her from our grandpa. And the things that weren't sold were thrown away. Of course, when Sarah found out, she was furious and confronted her ex, but he obviously didn't care, and that's when she fully decided no chance in hell would she ever try to work it out with them, not even for their 2 kids. Sarah tried to explain to Amanda what had happened, but Amanda wouldn't hear of it and basically blocked her from everything. We come to find out later that her ex told Amanda a completely different story. Basically that Sarah had told him to get rid of Amanda's things cause it was taking too much space and she didn't like the way it looked in her garage, which was a complete lie that Amanda chose to believe. Now this is where it gets even worse. During her separation from her ex, they were both sharing custody of the kids. At the end of her ex's visitation, Sarah went to pick them up from his house. When she arrived, she noticed that no one was home. She then called her ex and asked him where they were at, and that's when he told her that he took the kids and he won't let her see them again. She started panicking and begging him not to do this to her. While she's crying and begging him, he starts mocking her and saying she hurt him by leaving, he's gonna hurt her by taking her kids away, and that none of her family cares about her. Her own sister didn't even believe her, basically emotionally abusing Sarah. My sister had to get the cops involved, and of course we got involved as well. Especially our mom. It took us weeks until we were able to find out where they were hiding. Turns out his sister had them all along, and the reason it took us weeks was because she lived in a different city. The cops were called, and the kids were reunited with their mom, and James lost custody of them. But here's the really messed up part. When all of this was going on, Amanda would talk shit about Sarah, like how she deserved to not see her kids again, and how she's an unfit mother, and how she thinks the kids would be better off with their dad instead of their mom. Just really horrible things. We only know this cause she would talk to our cousin, who would tell her mom, who then told our mom, who then told our mom. That's when Sarah decided to fully cut off our sister and go no contact. The rest of us would talk to Amanda from time to time, but it was never the same. Now to the present, our youngest sister has a daughter who is turning 2 this year, and she wanted to plan a family trip to Disneyland. We all decided it would be all of us with the exception of Amanda. Sarah is still not talking to her. Amanda happened to call me one day, and while we were talking she asked if I had spoken with Sarah recently. I told her I had not. Amanda then went on to say how she tried calling her and texting her, so they can try to move past this. By the way, she still believes Sarah purposely sold her stuff. I asked if Sarah had replied, and she said she did not. I'm assuming Sarah is not over everything that happened 2 years ago, but she has every right not to be. I don't really like talking about this topic much since and I likes to play the victim a lot. But during our conversation I let it slip about our family trip to Disneyland. Amanda then started screaming at me, saying how we never saw her as our sister, and how we never invited her to our family trip, or even give her the chance to try and work it out with Sarah so she can join us. It doesn't matter cause Sarah wants nothing to do with her. It's been 2 years and Sarah still hasn't talked with her. I reminded Amanda how she would take all these trips to Hawaii, to San Diego. She even went to Colorado recently, and she's planning another trip to the Mall of America in Minnesota. But she never invited us. But she says that's different and it's not the same. She says we left Ed up for not inviting her, and we are no longer family. Then she blocked me. So Reddit, AITA for not telling my sister that the rest of the family is going to Disneyland without her. AITA will provide a little more detail on Amanda's situation. First, Amanda is not child-free. She has 5 kids. 19M, 17F, 13F, 11M and 9F. Her oldest moved out a year ago and wants nothing to do with her ever since. She threatened to take his dog to the dog pound when he's out of the houseworking because her friend, who lives with her Christ in 36F and boyfriend 37M, got into an argument with my nephew, and my nephew's dog German Shepherd was about to attack the boyfriend. He moved out that same night. Her oldest daughter 17F lives with her dad and doesn't want anything to do with her either ever since and it dropped off with her dad and told. And to deal with it, I admit her daughter was very disrespectful towards her mom. I won't go into too much detail on that. Her other 3 children 13F, 11M and 9F all live her and her friend and boyfriend. I'm very close with my nephews and nieces and talk to all of them daily. I just spoke with my nephew 11M and he said that if we would have invited her, she would have told them they'll only be able to come to Disneyland if they want their best behavior, and then change her mind last minute and go by herself. He said he knows she would do this cause she's done it before with her other trips. The reason why Amanda was able to afford these nice things and lavish lifestyle is because she has a really good paying job and makes good money. I feel bad that she lost all her stuff without receiving any type of payment, but that's between Amanda, Sarah and James. Add it to my nephew 19M, and his oldest will also be going with us to Disneyland. We paid for his ticket and he doesn't want her there either. He said he wants nothing to do with her after she threatened and to take his dog to the dog pound. He had taken care of her since she was a pup, had her for 5 years, is his best friend. He said she was only about to attack the boyfriend because he was screaming in his face and my nephew trained her to defend him. Edit 3. The reason Anna feels the way she does is because she's burned a lot of bridges with us. Before she got her job, I loaned her $1,200 and she never paid me back. When I would see her taking these vacations, I would bring up the money she owes me, but she would ghost me for a few months, so I just let it go and learned my lesson and not to loan her any more money. Another time is when she convinced our other sister Bella to go out with her, and they both ended up at a hotel with these guys. Bella was really drunk and it just left her to go hang out with one of the guys. She only remembers bits of pieces of what happened that night and doesn't like talking about it. Amanda ended up taking an Uber with the other guy and Bella drunkenly calls Sarah to come get her. Sarah said there was a man at the hotel but Bella won't say what happened to protect her privacy. We tried to convince Bella to file a police report, but she doesn't remember much and is really ashamed of what happened. She does not speak to Amanda at all and I believe she really hates her.